Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And I'm really excited because this issue is Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths. But really, I would say this is Crisis of the Justice Society of America, because that's what is really taking place in this comic, and I'm really excited about it. It seems like it's a lot of freaking fun. Now, if you guys haven't been keeping up with Dark Knight's Death Metal, Tales from the Dark Multiverse, this all goes together, so be sure to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description and at the top of the video. You guys can get completely caught up on all the tales and all of Dark Knight's Death Metal. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So as all our Tales of the Dark Multiverse begin, we have Tempest. Tempest observing all of these Earths, all of these multiverses, trying to see any kind of hope that may exist. You know, some people say that these guys, they're the police of the multiversal crossing. But really, Tempest feels like he's forced to just watch the end of existence. Forced to watch and witness tragedy. And he goes on to tell us that the crisis on Infinite Earths. Above, a new world was forged, predominantly from Earth 1. But below, it was not Earth 1. The world of the Justice League, that was the seed. But Earth 2, the world of the Justice Society of America. Here in the aftermath, it was Jor-L of Earth 1, not Jor-L of Earth 2, who gazed in horror from the cosmic treadmill, finding a void where once his home had waited. It was the Justice League, not the Justice Society, who faced the last days, as New Earth faced its first. While above, the Justice Society disappeared, locked in an endless battle to avert Ragnarok. And here, when Surtur arrived, when his armies rose, the Justice League stood against him instead. And though mighty, when the Justice League fell, they did not rise again. And so we see the Justice League spread out, and Surtur just literally taking these guys down. Now, he is a fire giant from Viking lore. You know, no matter how powerful the Justice League may have been, their numbers were fewer, and they were strangers on the new Earth, confused and unremembered, reeling out from the crisis. An absent Kal-El, who had been taken to his reward with Lois Lane on Earth 1. And while Alexander Luthor ferried them into a pocket dimension, the Justice League battled to their last. And the true tragedy of this Earth began. For just as it was born, with all its potential, came under fire. Still wet from birth, barely able to defend itself. And our fire giant is laying waste. No longer a slave to his eternal battle on the fields of Asgard, the executioner of existence makes Earth fall. Painted in the blood of the Justice League, him and his armies commenced their genocidal cause. But this Earth was not without its heroes. And so Tempest watches as in this last hopeless moment, old heroes fight for a new Earth. And this is when we see the Justice Society of America in all of their glory. And Alan Scott calls out to the Fire Giant and just lets him know, you haven't even begun to face the All-Star team yet. And this is when the Fire Giant recognizes the Green Lantern symbol and casts down to Alan Scott the uniform of Hal Jordan, showing him just how powerful he is. And he lets him know that Hal Jordan also tried coming with big talk, but then he bit Hal Jordan's complete arm off along with its ring. And as he sat there waving his stump in the air, he set Hal Jordan ablaze from the inside. And this is when the battle breaks out and the Justice Society attacks. But what we're seeing here is not a victory, but a massacre. Because the Fire Giant waves his sword with one go and kills Hawkman and Silver Scarab in one wave of this sword. It is so brutal. And so Dr. Fate and Hawkgirl go up to try to do anything to this guy. And this is where he grabs Hawkgirl and uses her as a weapon. With her mace, she hits Dr. Fate in his helmet and knocks Dr. Fate's head clean off of his shoulders. And really at this point, it's like, holy crap, like Dr. Fate just got taken out by him using Hawk Girl as a weapon. And it's like, what else could possibly face this guy? And this is when we see the Spectre rise up in his ginormous form. And these two start grappling, but just as fast as it begins, it is just as fast as it's over. And the fire giant literally just feasts on the wrath of God. And like that, the Spectre's head is literally just gone. Non-existent, it's just a body without a head now. And while all is seeming lost, Wonder Woman makes her arrival in her invisible jet and crashes right into this dude, messing his jaw all up. And this is when our fire giant breathes fire on all of our heroes, killing Nuklon and even damaging and hurting Superman. And this is where Power Girl tells them, like, you guys need to get the freak out of here. Like, this universe is not going to survive. This Earth won't survive without a Superman. And so you need to go, she tells Superman he needs to regroup. Gather your forces, gather your energy. And that's when they take off and Power Girl stands toe to toe. Now, unsure what exactly Power Girl's fate is here, we see at the feet of this fire giant our heroes slain all across the floor. Now, picking up hidden away, Starman has essentially cloaked their location so that they can't be found. And all of the Justice Society is trying to patch up whatever wounds they have and just, relishing in their defeat. Feeling sorry for themselves. Johnny Thunder's unable to even access the genie because it's too scared to even come out. Because if it can take something like Dr. Fate out, if it can take the Spectre out, like, what is Johnny Thunder to this? And this is where we see our heroes beaten, rugged, looking like they are just losing hope. The survivors. The Justice Society of Earth. And this is when we have each of our heroes getting a little pep talk. We have Superman talking to Lois Lane just about, out of the 50 years that they've been together doing this, he has always been Superman and he will always find hope to do what needs to be done. We have Sandman preparing. We have Johnny Thunder and Wildcat having their discussion as old men at this point. And Johnny Thunder really just thinking like, he's always felt like the mascot for the Justice Society. And Wildcat lets him know, like, you were never a mascot. You were always the heart of the Justice Society. And this is where Starman and Jay Garrick are sitting down discussing how they could take down this fire giant, and essentially they're going to try to use his own energy against him to open up a miniature black hole at his core. And so all our heroes are really just preparing for the battles to come. Alan Scott talks to his son and he tells him, you're right. Like, I don't have to save the world every time. I just have to save it one more time for you. I'll make sure that the world is waiting for you. And this is where we cut over to our fire giant about to head across the ocean, going to his next continent to conquer. And this is when the oceans part and the Justice Society of Earth arrives. And our team makes their attack. And Wildcat with Green Lantern fists is just punching the crap out of these demons. We see Johnny Thunder become Johnny Thunderbolt, connected to the genie in a way that he's never been before. Aquaman sends giant megalodon sharks after them, pinning down the fire giant just for a second, just enough time for Power Girl to burst out of his chest. And this is when Jay Garrick makes his move. And he starts twirling and twirling and twirling around him, trying to create this black hole. But he fails, and with a sword swipe, Jay Garrick is cut in half. And this is where we see most of our heroes taking out. Starman's taken down, Wildcat's taken down, Sandman's already gone at this point. Superman is about the only one left, and he uses his freeze breath on the face of the fire giant, and then gives him a good clock to the mouth, breaking the fire giant's face. But he's able to grab a hold of Superman here, and Superman's skin is literally starting to melt just in the fire giant's hands. And this is when Alan Scott says enough, and he proposes an idea to him. Because Alan Scott, he realizes, we can't beat you. He's like, but you've spent an eternity in chains, and there must be something you want. And he says the only thing that he wants is destruction. His one primal cause is that of Ragnarok. His fire cannot be abated. And this is where Alan Scott tells us, like, I've seen too many friends burn to ignore your power. I let too many people down. I see now that we can't stop you. But what if we didn't? What if you could destroy world after world, just not this one? And Alan Scott sacrifices himself, tells him that he will be the avatar of destruction for him if he just leaves this Earth alone. Take as many planets as he likes. He will lead the army, all to keep this planet alive. And he agrees. And we see these two morph into one, and we have a Dread Lantern. And just like that, the fire giant and his army disappear, leaving what's left of the Justice Society of Earth to just question what the hell just happened. Alan Scott's sacrifice may have gifted this Earth a future, but at a price that will take the lives of millions. Because a new Earth may live, while across the universe, world after world is dying, as Alan Scott guides the fire giant and his armies to unknowing worlds. And a new Earth's safety comes at the damning worlds of an unholy oath. And the oath of the Dread Lanterns is, "And I shall shed my light for fury evil, for death alone survives the light of the Dread Lantern." And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think. That is one heck of a twist on Crisis on Infinite Earths. You know, it's taking place after the events of the Anti-Monitor. But it's literally, you know, we just had an event happen, and now we have another one going on that just took out the Justice League. How can we possibly stand to it? And they couldn't. So much so that Alan Scott had to sacrifice himself just so his son and that Earth could live. I have to say, this issue was absolutely freaking stunning. It was amazing. I love the artwork. I love the emotion, the dialogue that you could feel. Like, this is true storytelling comics right here. I love the Tales from the Dark Multiverse. A lot of people aren't liking all of them. The Flashpoint, the Wonder Woman, now Crisis on Infinite Earths. This stuff has just been top notch in my opinion, and I cannot wait to get some more of this stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next video.